Here, in this one, there are a few fundamental points. So first, we will look at there are 4 quadrants in every shloka. Let me see if I can um, annotate this. So, see this much. Here is a first one. Then this much is a second one, second quadrant. Then there is a third quarter. And then there is a fourth one. Okay, so first let us look at the 1 and 2. What is 1 and 2? Karmanyevadhikaraste. So the literal translation is you have the right or you are eligible only for action. Especially those who are not established in that pure self-knowledge or the supreme knowledge, for them it is mentioned. Karmanyevadhikaraste, you are qualified, you have the eligibility for action only, for doing work, for acting in the world, doing your duties. Ma phaleshu kadachana, but you don't have the right to demand that I need this result. So now this is these two, this 1 and 2, 1 plus 2, it is the definition of the law of karma. So, or what we call the law of karma is the dharma, the greater dharma working in the universe. That there is one eternal dharma which works in the universe. So in that, what we say that Lord takes care of the dharma. So some people, like some traditions which don't believe in God, like Buddhism, Sankhya, so they don't believe in one God, one supreme God. So they say it is a law of dharma. Dharma, a law of karma works as a dharma, meaning it is the principle that upholds the whole universe. Everything in the universe is upheld by this dharma. And if you take a personal God, as we in most of Sanatana Dharma we believe in, that one God, that one Ishvara or Bhagavan, Narayana, whomsoever we call him, that Lord, that Ishvara is the karma phala data, meaning he is the one who will decide what you should get or what you deserve. So you cannot demand what I want. So again, now this is where, when I say law of karma, it is not all fatalistic. Many times people say, karma means destiny. So those are all compromised definitions of karma. So karma is in many ways. Karma is action. Karma is destiny also. Karma is that, our ability to do action. And karma is that from what we carry over from life after life. So all that is karma, but here we are referring to karma as action. So in this present moment, what I want to do in this present moment, I have a free will. I have the choice. So that is the karma definition. In this present, you have a choice. But what you get in the present, that you don't have control over. So what I want to do now, like if I want to raise my hand or if I want to get up and go drink a cup of water, that is in my free will, in my choice. That is what he's saying. You have the right, you have the qualification, you have the power to do what you want. But what you're getting at this point is something that you had done in the past and the result is coming now. And dependent on what the Lord thinks is right for you at this point. So this is where we have to understand that state of what we call as sorry that state what we are talking about has that state of Brahmana, or a that power to act, that power to do what I want to in this point. So this choice, this choice to act in that present, is it with me? But that what that results are coming, that is not in me. So, for example, if you have a choice in what you want to eat now at this point, you can go eat whatever you want. But let's say you eat some like lot of sweets or a lot of food that doesn't work well with your body, with your system. Then after 2 hours, that result will come. So after 2 hours, what you experience, you don't have control over what you experience after 2 hours. But when you have a stomach ache, you have again a choice whether you take some tablet or whether you can just, go through that pain, that you have a choice. Hmm? And similarly, in more practical worldly things, is like this, right? If you are using your phone, browsing and all that, you have a choice what your finger will touch, which app you will open, what will do. But what results come out of it, again, you don't have control, because once you have decided to go through something, you don't have a choice. So that results, in that sense of results, that is fate. huh? In that, what is coming back to you, or it is the prasada, we say. So what a devotee sees it as, prasada meaning a, basically, what we, prasada means, like, you go generally, in our traditional temple, you go at the end of whatever puja they do, they will, the one who does that puja, right? They will give you something, or you go to visit a guru, or a acharya somewhere. So that guru or acharya might give you something, some fruit or some nuts or anything. Sometimes you give them something and they will give you something from what you have given only back. So that is then considered prasada, meaning it is a sanctified thing. It is something that is sanctified, meaning that same thing you had given, when you receive it back from their hands, it is sanctified, meaning their blessing is there. So here the idea is this, that what you get, a devotee attitude is that this result, which I don't have control over, what I am getting, that I can take it as prasada, whether it is good or bad. So in prasada, you cannot have this, you cannot have preferences, generally. Of course, if you have some allergies and all that, you can tell that guru or that pujari. But generally, like if they're giving bananas, apple, and as prasada, and let's say when your turn comes, you get banana and you want apple, but you cannot demand that when you get prasada, because that is not like you are going to a store and deciding what you want. There, they're giving you what is good for you, what is a blessing from you. So it is an offering. It is something that you are getting back uh, as a blessing, in a tangible way. So here it is mentioned. See, the idea here is that karma is not fatalistic, but it it is dependent on two things. One is that you had a limited free will. When you exercised your action, you had a limited free will. So why is it that your free will also is limited? So this is again another point. See, the when I say there is free will, it is that free will is also conditioned by the past to a large extent. For example, if you are not a coffee drinker at all, and then you go to some place and they offer you coffee, and you know that you don't want that whatever effects that coffee has, so you say no. But if you're a regular coffee drinker, then it's very hard for you to say no. So although you have a free will, you have a choice, that choice is limited for you. Whereas the person who has never indulged in coffee, for him he has a wide range of choice. So that also is the workings of karma. That what you have a capacity to choose, that is decided by your past conditioning to a large extent. Hmm? So, but there is free will. So that limited amount of free will is there for you. But that workings of karma in terms of what results you get in this moment. So we say many times, right? People are doing very good things, but why are they suffering? Why are they having other problems and all that? They're such good people. Sometimes, this argument comes. What is it called? Why are bad things happening to good people? This is a very common thing. See, that what they are doing in the present, that good actions and all that, that is that action which they have choice over. But that results that they're getting at this present moment, those are the things from the past karma. Not just a past karma, that is also sometimes what we say, if you are a devotee, you take it as a blessing from the Lord, because that situations that come, even difficulties in your life, they are there to help you grow. They are there to help you move towards that supreme goal of moksha. Hmm? So that is where, a devotional attitude is much better. But the law of karma is not just dependent on a devotional attitude. So there is a two ways of explaining law of this karma yoga. Anyway, I'll come to that. So let me talk the third quadrant here. Uh, what is the third quadrant of this? Ma karma pala heturbhu. See, the third one, it says, the third, ma karma pala, do not be the cause um, of getting results. Meaning, do not be the doer who is intending towards a certain results. Huh? So as it says here, let not your attachment be to the outcomes of action. Meaning, that you have an option to in your mind think that I will bring about such and such a result, that I alone will decide on such and such a result. Like if I work hard for some exam, and I don't get the top score on that exam, then what happens? We will think that I had perfect control over it. Why didn't I get it? This is not fair, and all that we will think, right? So that is what he's saying. So now he's advising the what is karma yoga, the attitude of karma yoga. The first line was the workings of the karma. The second line is the what is the attitude in karma yoga? Do not expect that you will get a certain result. Do not expect that you will bring about a specific result. Hmm? This is what we call kartrutva buddhi. Many of us have this act that I am the doer. That I am the doer, meaning that I am the doer who will bring about a specific result. This is what we call kartrutva. Uh, what is kartrutva? That idea, that notion that I am capable of bringing about a specific result. See, for a young person new on that career with a lot of motivation, we can tell them, yeah, you can work, you can shape your destiny, you can bring about the result that you want. But in the present, what happens is that that kind of attitude for a karma yogi is not the goal, because a karma yogi is not going to, is the idea is not to be driven by that results, not to be driven by the hankering for results. So that is why, a lot of this new school ideas are there, right? What is it called? New age ideas. Like, I will bring about whatever I want, I will manifest all my desires. So there again we say, so it is true that you have that thing. If you desire, 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 and you work towards it, that action and karma will bring about that result. But again, that is the bondage. You are stuck in that thing. You don't know that what you're desiring is really good for you or not. So that what you are desiring may be a source of other bondage. So here this is what it is said: do not be motivated by the desire for a specific outcome. So one is the surrender to God, or surrender to the law of or to the dharma that works. The greater dharma that works will decide what is good for you. It will bring about what you need at the time you need. Mate sangostva akarmani. So now what happens if that is the case? Then there can be another idea. Now, what is the other idea? That I will not act. This is the other opposite. What is this? The first one was raga. That I want specific result. This is one of the kleshas. What is the opposite to raga? Dvesha. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to act. I don't want to, because that has problems. That will bring me bondage. so I will not do anything. So this is Arjuna's state. He doesn't want to do the war. Why? Because if I do the war, then I may do some adharma, and that will become a bondage for me. So I don't want to do the war. So this is dvesha. So raga dvesha. So karma yoga is what? Karma yoga is rising above raga dvesha. You cannot choose in karma yoga that I will do only this and I will not do that. Or I will do this with the desire that I will get that result. And I will not do this with the desire that I don't want that result. This is what we call kamya karma. That is the main thing that we have to get rid of. That raga dvesha, that desire, that motivation to act based on our craving and aversion. So when we overcome this, so that what is happening? You have the right to act, but if you want to progress, if you want a peaceful life, if you want to realize that supreme state, then you should not seek results. So now what has happened? The two definitions of yoga are coming together. What is the one definition of yoga in that was given in the next shloka? Samatvam yoga uchyate. So whatever is the results, that bhoktrutva we say, that enjoyership, that we have to relinquish. I want this result only. I don't want that result. That we have to relinquish. So that is the main teaching, one of the main teachings, samatva, equanimity. Then the other one is yoga karmashu kaushalam, that skill of acting, that skill of thing, that is also karma yoga. The second is that what is that? That kartritva. How do we go about acting? How do I use my sense of doership? Do I become that karta or the karana? Meaning, do I become the doer itself, or do I become an instrument of the things that the Lord is doing, or that universal law is doing? Am I just an instrument, or am I the doer itself? What is my attitude? So here it is a kartrutva is driven by raga. That is why Lord is saying that when you have craving, then you become the doer. You will go about with that sense that I am the doer. See, the sense of doership is a fundamental definition of who we are in the world. All of us have a sense of doership. So if you take anybody, one of the first fundamental things, if you see two people having a general worldly conversation, what is the first thing when they meet? They say, what do you do? Where do you work? Or what kind of activities you? So the sense of identification with what you do, what is the works you do? That is a very fundamental identification in the world. But here, that is what the Lord is saying is a cause of bondage. That identification with that doership, that becomes your cause of bondage. In fact, so much so too, when they meet generally some sannyasi, when we, most of us sannyasis, like, we are supposed to have relinquished all those things. So even in sannyasis, many times when people meet, they want to ask, what do you do? Okay, if you don't do anything work, then are you, where do you teach, or what do you teach? Or, before I didn't used to teach, I didn't used to even write. So many times, people would ask me, what do? You don't have, those who are sannyasis would know, or those who know of the tradition, they would know. But many people, then eventually I wrote a couple of books, and then I would say, okay, I wrote these books, I'm a doer of that. So for worldly purpose, there is some identification. But in reality, that identification that a sannyasi does is that identification which we want to have, that we don't identify with what we are doing internally for ourselves. No, that is not the identification. So then what happens? Ma karma phala heturbu. You don't become the cause of that one who is seeking results. You are not the causation for that. You are not the motivation for that that thing in you, that ego in you, which is seeking that result. And then there is akarma, not doing that karma that you should be doing. So this is the balancing act. See, karma yoga is that great balancing act where neither can you let go of your duties, nor can you kind of, indulge in it for the sake of pleasure. So this is what it is to say, that abhyasa, that practice of living life without indulging in actions for the pleasure of it, nor avoiding actions. So this is more difficult sometimes than leaving everything and going to the mountains, I say. So many times people say this, karma yoga is even more difficult, but it is also very purifying. It is the greatest way for chitta shuddhi. Okay, of course, if the person is a vanaprastha and as I mentioned, or a sannyasi, then they don't have to fulfill that worldly obligations. Okay, now I'll just summarize with two aspects of how this karma yoga is working. So there is that path in the karma yoga from that bhakti perspective. What is the bhakti perspective? Is that I do everything for the Lord. Huh? So this is fundamental. So actually, there, Shankaracharya qualifies that. He says that we are not doing with the notion that the Lord will be pleased with me. So similarly, when we do for God or gurus or some acharya, somebody, we do seva, right? So the idea should not be that they will favor me, they will be pleased with me. I want to please them. That is okay. But they are going to favor back to me, like they say sometimes politicians, some great politicians, businessmen fund them. Why are they funding them? Not because they want to do it, but because they want that politicians to recognize them or give them some special favor. So here we are not expecting that also from the Lord. We do it with what we call arpana. Arpana means offering. Somebody was saying that. So that word arpana is offering. So whatever we do, this is a devotional perspective, and this is a see. Otherwise, what happens? Doing duty for duty's sake is not a great motivation for many people. But if you're doing it out of that, so here that dualistic approach is very helpful, with that knowledge that the duality is there for chitta shuddhi, not that it is the ultimate reality, but you take on that sense of dualistic attitude so that you are motivated, you get the motivation to do for somebody else. See, some person, if you love them, if you really care for them, or if you have respect for them, then you're willing to do for them. There is natural motivation. So that is how our karma yoga should be. We should have that arpana buddhi, that motivation to offer whatever we are doing for that Lord. And then what about the results? That results, there is prasada buddhi. You take it as something that the Lord is giving you. huh? It is for what you have offered, you have made your offering. Then the Lord gives to you something as a blessing, as a grace. So whatever comes in your life, that is taken in a blessing. So this is a bhakti approach to karma yoga. In bhakti approach to karma yoga, the fundamental thing is that you are offering to the Lord, and the Lord is the karma phaladata, meaning He is the giver of all your own fruits. He will give you. Your own action fruits He will give you. But if you have a devotional attitude, then what happens? That your devotion itself is also an act. So here, when you have devotion, a sense of regard or respect for anybody, that itself is an action, and you will get the result also for that. With that kind of a sense of tranquility, peace of mind, sense of contentment, all that will also come. So that Lord, if we take as the one who gives that thing, then what happens? We are more willing to accept whatever happens in our life, whether it is good or bad. We take it all as a blessing. So you see stories of great devotees, they go through a lot of problems, lot of challenges, whether in Indian or in Western, you hear stories of many saints and mystics in other traditions also, right? They go through a lot of difficulties, but how is their attitude? They take it all as coming from the Lord. So that is for those who are able to adopt the devotional attitude. For those who are more what we call as inclined towards the intelligent path, what we discussed last time as the spiritual intelligence, emotional spiritual intelligence. For them, what do they take? They take that attitude of samatva, meaning that everything in life, if I train myself to be equal minded, then what happens? I have whatever results come, I will not be affected. Then what happens? I will be in a calm and equanimous state of mind. So in that state of mind, I'll be able to act properly even when difficulties are coming. My mind is clear to exercise that free will. So this is a very scientific way of looking at karma yoga. That if my mind is in a state of equanimity, then what happens? I'm able to take the right action in the present moment. If my mind is already disturbed, I'm getting what I don't like, and what want, I'm not getting. If my mind is troubled with that, then what happens? It is not at a state of tranquility to do what I want, and it is going to be bound again in ragadvesha. So, see, the idea is that anytime this sense of ragadvesha can come upon us. In the Yoga Sutras, we learn that all our kleshas, they are all sitting somewhere. So, and that is why, when we are doing this thing, that attitude of samatvam, it's a practice. Samatvam yoga uchate, meaning that not just this is a definition for yoga, the practice of yoga. What is the practice of karma yoga? It is being equanimous, not being subject to that to and fro motions of life. So, so this is the other perspective where we are bringing and the understanding, and then there is the one more part which is relinquishing the kartrutva, that we will come when we discuss the second part of the yoga definition. We will discuss that.